guys, and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies. And in today's video, we are of course reviewing none other than WandaVision. And let me tell ya, next week is of course the season finale. This show, I was always super hyped for the show. If you ask me which shows I was super hyped for, I would say definitely Loki and WandaVision. I would say I was more hyped for Loki than WandaVision, but I was super into WandaVision. I could not wait to see this. And now that I pretty much have, I was not expecting this to be as good as it is. It's really creative. It's really interesting. And let me tell you, my favorite character is always going to be Tony Stark. It's always going to be Iron Man. But my second favorite character, I always argued that it was Captain America. But I don't know if I can say that now. Because I'm really liking Wanda. I always kind of liked her in, of course, the Avengers. We didn't get too much of her, but I really always liked her powers, But now, especially now that we actually see her backstory, with spoilers, we are going to get into it. Yeah, with her backstory now, I really think she might be my second favorite character when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is crazy. I even like her more than Thanos, and I absolutely love Thanos. Especially on the good guy side, yeah, I think she might be my second favorite character. I figured we would get something from her past, but I really didn't think this was going to focus so much on her past. I figured we were just going to be mostly focusing on her, her issues, and that's pretty much what we have been doing, but I didn't think we were actually going to see her backstory, because we kind of already learned what her backstory is. We have, even from when she first came in Ultron, we figured out most of her backstory, but to actually see her backstory be played out is pretty darn insane. So let's start there. Let's start with the backstory, shall we? So we got, of course, Agatha Harkins. Agatha now has Wanda in her clutches. She has her. And she's trying to figure out, how did she do all this? Because here's the thing. I really thought for the longest time that she was being, again, manipulated. And to a certain extent she is. But I also have this other theory that it could be just her. And that theory that I had kind of went to the wayside when I found out that both Agatha and Quicksilver, especially Agatha, was involved in this. Because I really thought, when it comes to Agnes, I always thought she was a shady character, but then after what happened with Vision, I thought, okay, no, I don't believe that anymore. So I really thought that Agatha was like working for her or something like that. I did not think that it was all totally Wanda. I thought, again, while yes, it is her powers, I thought she might be manipulated in some way. But there was also this theory that I also had right from the very beginning that I kind of left throughout the season. The idea that it's just her completely going mad. And what do we find out? We find out that it's just her completely going mad. Agatha is trying to figure out how she did it. What are her powers? And how powerful is she truly? And what Agatha does, basically, is she actually tries, and now that I look back on it, she has, for the most part, actually has tried to basically befriend Wanda and undo Wanda's craziness. She basically wants to understand how Wanda is even able to perform such creative abilities, crazy abilities. And so she actually wants to wake Wanda up, but you know, Wanda is kind of stubborn with this whole thing, right? She wouldn't wake up for Monica. She wouldn't wake up for that other idiot from I almost said Shield, but Sword now. I gotta remember that it's not Shield anymore. That it's Sword. Yeah, she wants to just keep her life, keep her kids. She obviously is somewhat fighting with Vision about this, but she basically just wants a happy end to her life, a happy story to her whole entire story, a happy story that she was never able to have. Not with her brother, not with Vision, and not with pretty much her family or anything. We get to see that through this episode. It's pretty darn crazy. So, she finally, Agatha finally snaps Wanda out of it and says, hey, we have to go. We have to start from your past. We have to start from your pain. Let's see what your backstory is, essentially. And they go through the door, and we kind of start finding out what little Wanda was like. Here's little Wanda with her brother, and I'm pretty sure that the characters from all of the commercials, I suggest is a good way to call them. All the characters from the commercials end up being her father and mother. Now, is her father the MCU version of course, Magneto? Because I do know that that her dad in the comic books was Magneto. I'm not 100% certain on that just yet, but it could be, and I'll explain further. So here is Lil Wanda with her little family, watching sitcoms. You know, as we thought, she's watching her favorite American sitcoms. And it's actually pretty darn sad because all the sitcoms are basically what she's been trying to play out as with Vision. It's kind of cute but very sad. And then out of nowhere, it was a jump scare for me. Out of nowhere, the screen just kind of shocks and goes black. She wakes up, her parents are dead. It's her and her brother. And what do they have right in front of them? They have the Stark Industry bomb. I really liked this callback. I really did, because that was of course really important to her as a character in Ultron, but the thing is, we never really got to see it. The thing is, what caused Tony Stark, and this is why Tony Stark is one of my favorite characters, what caused Tony Stark and his whole issue, why he got hurt in the first place, why he got captured in the first place, why he turned into the man that he is because of his own stupid mistakes. Now again, it's mostly because of course, his company, but he wasn't staying on top of his company. It is still his mistake that caused the whole thing, right? And it was that bomb that said Stark Industries that hurt Tony, that made Tony realize that he has to, of course, stand up against this and protect the world from his own weapons. And he understands from there that there are children out there being hurt, families out there being hurt by his own weapons. And he doesn't want that. That's why he makes the Iron Man suit. That's his whole character. And Wanda has pretty much the same thing, staring at a bomb about to kill her and her brother. But what we didn't know is that Wanda actually stops the bomb. So she had powers even before the stone. Now the stone could have given Quicksilver powers. I don't think so. I think they might have just already had powers from Magneto. I'm still thinking their father might have been Magneto. And how they're going to do that whole storyline, I have no idea. I'm really interested in how they're going to bring the X-Men into the MCU. But then we have little Wanda, and suddenly she's grown up. Agatha is talking to her, and then they go into the next room. This is where she's being experimented on. She meets the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone gives her her powers. They basically boost her powers. She's already a witch. She's already a very powerful young witch. And then you have the Mind Stone, which of course just amplifies her powers. The Mind Stone didn't give her her powers like we all thought. The Mind Stone amplified her powers. And of course with that, I would say all of the stones through the Mind Stone amplified her powers into what she is able to do, because she is able to do a lot of things like all of the Infinity Stones are able to do. She's able to create life. She's able to change the world. She's able to do a lot. And I really liked the fact that we are starting to actually get her backstory. It's really interesting. And then after that, we get to see her with Vision, and it's after Quicksilver passed away. She's really emotional. Obviously, she's really saddened by his death, and here is Vision trying to help her, and he's the only one there. He's the only one there who's truly trying to help her, and she sees that, and she falls in love with that. Then we jump forward ahead of time. Vision is dead. She's the next of kin. She goes to go get his body, right? It turns out that she was never there to just steal his body. She was never there just to rob the body. She was there to collect it and bury it, because it was her boyfriend, husband, whatever you want to call it. But it turns out that the detective leader jerk, I have a couple other words I like to say, but again, gotta keep it PG, right? The fact is, when it comes to him, he basically made it out that she was the villain of all this. When in fact, they were only tearing him apart. They were only going to use him for vibranium. All they saw when he saw her was a monster that could bring Vision back. Vision being nothing but a board of titanium that could be stuck in the ground. He didn't want that, so he kept it. She ran away. Of course, she walked away from that, and she actually went to Westview, got to see where actually Vision bought some land, was going to build a house for them, and was never able to. So she exploded. Her powers and anger exploded out of her, creating not only the house, but creating Vision. Yes, Vision is not created from the body of Vision as we thought. Nope, it's just straight from Wanda. Straight from Wanda's memories, Vision was created from. And that was interesting. The question is, was she always pregnant? Was she always going to have kids? That I don't know. Are the kids real? Are the kids able to walk out of the hex? The thing is, we know Vision can't, because he's literally part of Wanda's magic now. But here's the thing. We get a shot at the big end. We get a shot of Vision's real body. We got white Vision. We got bad guy, weird looking Vision. But here's the thing. Okay, we don't have the Mind Stone. We don't have Jarvis. What's left? You could say Vision. You could say Ultron. Could this be Ultron and Vision's original body here to destroy Wanda? That could be, of course, absolutely insane. I have no idea, but that is, of course, my theory. Oh boy. Oh, one last thing. Agatha also calls her the Scarlet Witch. We finally have her name. The Scarlet Witch is born. I really did enjoy this episode, obviously. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I thought this was an amazing episode, and I cannot wait to see more. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out.